Honorable Chai Wei, Assistant Minister of Foreign Affairs of China, Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, it's a great honor and pleasure to see many of you standing together. So let us work together, whether it be standing or sitting. We are living in a very urgent world to address many difficult issues. Now, I'd like to also thank UN Resident Coordinator Sid Chatterjee and dear UN family members. It's a great pleasure to meet you again, and I thank for your hard work. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Ni hao, good afternoon. Standing here in Beijing, a city where the imperial palaces mark millennia of civilization, and the glow of skyscrapers pulses with the energy of nation, I feel a profound and humbling honor. We gather today not only to mark the 80th anniversary of the United Nations, but also to rekindle a profound promise of the United Nations, multilateralism, and moving as one. 80 years ago, in 1945, the world lay scarred by the unimaginable cruelty of the Second World War. Amid the rubble and grief, we vowed to chart a more peaceful future. That was the United Nations. That vow was etched into the very first lines of the UN Charter. I quote, "We the peoples, determined to save succeeding generations from the scourge of war," unquote. Those words are not the relic of the past. They are a lifeline for our present. And at their core beats one simple word, quote unquote, we. The soul of our theme today, building our future together. Together, quote unquote, rolls off the tongue rather easily, but at the same time, it demands everything of us. It demands empathy, the courage to look at the neighbor in town or a stranger across an ocean and not to see an other, but a fellow global citizen on our fragile planet. It demands that we set aside our differences because our common future matters most. Indeed, together, quote unquote, is a guiding vision that does not belong to one culture or one era. It is the same fire that illuminates the United Nations and its founding ideals. And today, that vision is not just a dream. It is a vital necessity. Yet nowadays, our together is under siege, unfortunately. The pillars of our shared home are trembling. The climate crisis is no longer a distant threat. It is the flood that submerges villages in Asia, the wildfire that devours forests in North America, the drought that parches farmlands in Africa. So climate crisis is always around us. Conflicts rage alongside growing impunity, killing thousands of civilians, tearing families apart, and displacing millions. Mistrust and division are steadily expanding, threatening to unravel the hard-won fabric of international cooperation we spent decades weaving. At moments like these, it is tempting to turn inward, to build walls instead of bridges, to cling to us, only us, versus them, and to believe that our problems can be solved alone. That is wrong. However, human progress does not work that way. Gravity pulls us apart. It is only when we choose collectively to reach for one another that we can rise. So how do we build this future we owe to every person, every citizen, every generation yet to come, leaving no one behind? Let me suggest 3 things. First, we should build it with humility. Any nation, no matter how powerful or resourceful it may be, cannot tackle global crises like climate change alone. COVID-19 also taught us this harsh truth. A virus in one corner of the world is a threat to all the corners around the world. Carbon emissions from one factory affect the whole global climate. Second, we should construct it with partnership. There is not a single country in this world, however powerful, however resourceful one may be, can do it alone. We must join all our hands on the deck together. That's a hard lesson, very important lessons I have learned from my 10-year work at the United Nations, working together various areas with a lot of people, different people. So we must work together, otherwise we have no hope. In this regard, China's sustainable development journey is a testament to what is possible, lifting hundreds of millions out of abject poverty in such a short time and leading the charge in green innovation. And third, we should create it with the next generation firmly in our hearts. The choices we make today are not for us alone. It is for all of us. They are for the students in Beijing staying up late to learn climate science, and for the young farmers in Africa testing new drought-resistant crops. The United Nations is not perfect. Nobody said UN is perfect. They are not perfect unless you all support the United Nations. United Nations cannot do it alone. But United Nations, as far as we believe, is an indispensable organization, the only most legitimate organization at this time. It is the workshop where our togetherness is made at the United Nations, in the dialogue to wage peace, in the treaties to protect our planet, and in the action to feed hungry and heal the sick. Indeed, the United Nations is the place where, I quote, we the peoples, unquote, in not just words, but a guiding vision for all. So, on this United Nations Day, let us return to that solemn promise made on October 24th, 1945. Let us choose partnership over polarity, faith over fear, and solidarity over self-interest. Let us remember that our strength is not in our differences, but rooted in our unity. Excellencies, dear colleagues, friends, Let us work together to build a better future for all, one where peace is not just a wish, but a reality, and where sustainability is not just a goal, but a way of life. I am ready to work with you hand in hand. Many decades later, when our grandchildren ask us what we had done for them, we should be ready to proudly tell our grandchildren, great-grandchildren, that we had worked together with passion and compassion to hand over a peaceful and sustainable world for our grandchildren. Ladies and gentlemen, happy UN Day to you all. I thank you for your attention. Sheshe, merci beaucoup, spasiba большое. Gracias mille. Shukran jazilan. Thank you again. 감사합니다.